intro too. So when the intro starts, you'll hear it and see it. Oh, there we go. Hey everybody, welcome back to the 863 Sports Buzz podcast with your host Marshentime. I have a special guest today, AcesUp, coming in for Donnie Mac. He's feeling a little bit under the weather, so we're gonna slide by him and keep on moving on without him. So hope he feels better for the next episode. AcesUp, how you feeling over there in Las Vegas, buddy?
Feeling great, man. Hey, I don't get music. You get music, but I don't get music.
Yeah, you're not special.
I'm still setting up. I got nothing behind me. You've got all this pretty decoration behind you, and I've got nothing. I got a wall and two windows. That's all I get today. That's all I have. Everything's in boxes still. We've been here about a week and a half. So,
hey, it's still,
it's Henderson, Nevada.
Oh,
not Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah, well, he wants to be the next to gamble guy. He likes to gamble on these games and everything, so he knows a little bit at least, But he is a Dolphins fan, so we have to talk about that right off the bat. We always talk about the Dolphins first off. Oh, what went wrong this week? I mean, that's just everything went wrong, I guess I should say.
Mistakes. Little things, and you can't make a mistake against a team like the Bills. They're too good.
Josh Allen, really, he put up everything, too. It was – I don't know if I liked how they had Stephon Diggs on Cater Good, who should not be on Stephon Diggs. I didn't like that.
Kohu's young, but he's had such a good couple of years. I mean, he really has come into his own. But, I mean, let's be honest. There's not many cornerbacks in the league that are going to cover Stephon Diggs anyway.
No, that's true. But, I figure you got a top cornerback that you're paying this much money, might as well have him at least try to shadow him a little bit.
Yeah.
But they did not.
I don't think his name was called once all game.
No, they wouldn't throw to him. They didn't throw against him. They kept throwing against Kohu, which, makes sense, Put the pressure on the younger guy.
100%. Yeah, that one missed tackle was brutal, but most of it was just the stupid fumbles, and they looked like they felt entitled to the game, like they were going to win it. So I mean, they're carrying Mostert, especially carrying the ball way out and just out in his arm. Anybody swings their arm, it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah,
he looked like a receiver carrying the ball down the field, going one-on-one against somebody. And not a running back going through an entire team. But
Mostert
I'm getting angry. He's still getting mad about this game.
He's feeling a little pressure though. I mean, Achane has came in, man. He's looking strong for a rookie. He's looking really strong, and I like the way he's playing. And I'm really enjoying how he's playing. He's got the speed and the vision, which I think can be a top 10 running back later on in his career. So I'm hoping I don't
know if I'd go that far. I'm telling you, he's solid. He's solid, and he's slippery, and he's quick. But I give him 5 years in the league, maybe, because he's going to be beat up. He's got a breakdown. He's just not. He doesn't have the size. He doesn't have the longevity. But no running back does. I mean, it's a running back is a 5-year job now.
Yeah, I was about to say you're kind of talking about like Christian McCaffrey, though. He's not the biggest guy, but who's the number one running back in the league?
What does McCaffrey weigh? He's got to outweigh Achane.
I don't know if he does.
I don't call him Achane. I know his name's Achane, but Achane sounds so much cooler.
I agree.
What does McCaffrey weigh compared to Achane? I mean, it's got to be more.
I don't think it's very much difference. I'm going to be honest. McCaffrey's not a big dude.
209. McCaffrey is 209.
Okay, that's. I think Achane's like what 200.
So I'm looking up Achane running back, maybe 187. That's a big difference.
20 pounds. He can buff up though.
20 pounds is a huge difference.
Buff up
huge difference.
Come on, he can still buff up.
How much 20
he's coming in.
20 pounds is a huge difference. 20 pounds is like me being able to walk up all my stairs to get to the third floor
without getting winded.
I need to drop those 20 pounds because it's starting to get to me. I'm on 3 stories now, and it's brutal.
Yeah,
brutal.
I understand.
And coming from Florida, where there are 0 stairs, unless you
I don't know what stairs are, unless you got an attic,
unless you can afford the nice houses. It was crazy. Everything out here is 2 stories. At least.
Yeah, well, you got to stay off the heat off the ground, so you kind of get up in the air a little higher.
Yeah, the higher you get, the cooler it is, I guess.
So, but we talked about the Dolphins. We got to talk about another surprise team in the NFL. The Denver Broncos just got put up against, one of the other worst teams in the NFL, against the Chicago Bears. This was such a horrible game, but the Denver Broncos did end up winning. Do you think Sean Payton had any help, or do you think he's kind of in a a win? You know,
I was kind of peeking at that game a little bit off and on, but it was honestly, it was rough to watch. I think Fields was the star of the game.
he really was. I mean, he made a couple mistakes at the end of the game that kind of cost Chicago to win this game, though. So,
but if you look at the season, Denver has been either a great second half team or they don't show up at all. So
pretty much they really haven't showed up much at all. But they still won two. They won 2 games now somehow.
No, they're one game.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Raiders beat them. The Raiders beat them by 1 point.
The Raiders beat them by one, exactly by 1 point. It was what was their first game? 17-16?
16, yep, against the Raiders. And then it was.
And then if you look at, they've won every game or been in every game by 2 or 3 points, except for obviously the one game,
the 70-20. Which the Bills kind of paid it back for them. So beating Miami pretty bad. So it was kind of brutal. But
it should have been a lot closer. I'm not saying the Dolphins should have won the game. They shouldn't have. Even if without those mistakes, they probably still would have lost the game by 7.
That's that's what I was feeling. 7, 3 or 7. It was going to be a close game no matter what. But they just
credit to the Bills, man. They played. They outplayed them.
They played them good. They played them good. So and they always do. I mean, the Bills Dolphins are always a good game. Seems like, but this game they kind of overran them.
In Buffalo, I don't think Miami has a chance. Down here, honestly, I think the game goes the complete opposite direction down in Miami in December, and I think Miami will take them later. Miami's going to continue to get better. This was a great thing to happen.
Got to humble them. Got to humble them.
They needed it. Slap them in the face, going, "Oh, hey, that's right. There are good teams in the league." So.
Yeah, there are good teams. Well, I mean, to be fair, we really haven't played a easy team. I mean, the Broncos were supposed to be a decent team this year, but the Chargers, the Bills, Chargers and Bills are 2 prolific offenses.
And the Patriots. Chargers
were always, there.
Yeah, first 2 weeks on the road. Dallas. I thought they would split those games. I didn't think Miami would win the first game anyway. They pulled that off, and I got excited. And then they beat the Patriots in New England after traveling across the country. And then you knew the home game was going to be something special.
Oh yeah, and it was.
I had a feeling. The Bills
3 out of 4 games right off the bat away. Yeah. It's kind of rough.
Yeah, But now we have home for 2.
Yeah, there we go. The Giants and the Panthers. So 2 games we should win. So that's that's Miami's issue. Miami's issue has always been the games that you should win. Are the games that they seem to falter, which kind of worries me. But
well,
hey, we go 2-0. We can go 5-1. I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
for sure. Go off the Eagles, so that's gonna be a rough game though too. So, but while we're here, we got to talk about who you think the best team in the NFL is right now.
Ooh, good question. Best team off the top of my head, dude, I said it before the season. I'll probably say it again. I think Buffalo is the most complete team, and
really?
They have been. Philly just doesn't look like Philly. They're having trouble with teams. They're not bad.
They are.
I love San Francisco. I think I would never bet against San Francisco in anything this year, but right now I'd say Buffalo is a much more complete team. They've got a defense, they've got an offense, and I would put Josh Allen over Brock Purdy.
But see, that's the only thing I'm putting over on that whole team. That's the only person I'm putting over is the quarterback position, because the running back position is obviously San Fran, and the defense is San Fran. The defense is so much better in San Francisco than Buffalo.
I don't know. Look what Buffalo's done.
Yeah, but they really haven't.
Outside of that first week,
crazy league. I mean, they've had a pretty simple game, and the Dolphins they didn't look like the Dolphins, to be fair. Like their offensive line was shaken up, so you really can't count on that. And the Dolphins, the first 2 drives, I mean, they put up 14 points, no problem.
Yeah, and
I don't see us doing that against San Francisco. I mean, we'll find out later in the year, but.
Yeah, no, that scares the crap out of me. Miami has one of the toughest schedules.
Oh, 100%. They were second ranked, of everybody. So it's going to be exciting to see how they do, and I'm hoping they make it to the playoffs. We have a little bit easier division without Aaron Rodgers, so we should be able to make it. So,
I think Miami makes the playoffs. I think they make the playoffs, but I think this Buffalo game was definitely the anomaly, and they'll probably lose a couple more games, but I still put them on pace for 4 or 5 losses.
Yeah, I mean, I was picturing 6
11 and 5.
I was figuring, I was figuring 11 and 5, 11 4. It's gonna be interesting though. It's interesting. So we talked about all this. We talked about your favorite team. I got a little bit of a quiz for you here. I'm gonna throw 10 quarterbacks at you. All right, and I want you to rank them 1 through 10. I have my list here in front of me that I'm going to go off of.
All right.
So I want you to blind rank these quarterbacks. Tell me why you're putting them there and see what you got. And later on, we'll see how you did and how if I disagree with you on anything, and see how you go.
Oh, these suck, dude. I don't do these on TikTok just for a reason. I mean, I can't. These blind rankings, they kill me every time.
It's a fun thing though, it's entertaining. So.
Oh yeah, but then you get to the last one and you're like, oh good, I got Jalen Hurts. What do I have left? 7? All right, let's put him 7. That doesn't
let's put him there.
Screw everything up.
So see where you're gonna go. But I got my list right here in front of me. So there's no cheating. We're good.
All right.
The first one I'm throwing at you. He's been a little bit rough this year. He's had a pretty rough year. I'm gonna go with Deshaun Watson. Where are you putting him? 1 through 10. Deshaun
Watson. Okay. I loved the old Deshaun Watson
in Houston.
I don't think Deshaun Watson is anywhere near back to where he was. He's not even 80%. He's probably still 40 to 50% of what he was. Which
I don't even know he's that high.
Yeah, most teams would take him at 70. I would have taken him at 70%, but he's. God, where would I put him on the list? Man, I'm going to put him at. Let's go with 8.
At 8 for Deshaun Watson. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you got 8 at Deshaun Watson.
Just in case, I don't trust you, and I think you're going to throw some of these, garbage QBs at me. Not like you're going to throw some kind of third string backup.
No. They're all starting quarterbacks.
You're going to throw Trevor Siemian at me, and I'll be like, he hasn't been played. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm going to play Matt.
Right.
Throw Matt Moore at you.
All right. 10, he's 11. Yeah. Matt Moore.
All right.
Throwback.
Next one you.
Ryan Leaf, number 2.
Trevor Lawrence.
Oh man, Trevor Lawrence is one of my favorite quarterbacks. I think they're letting him down as a team, honestly. But I love Trevor Lawrence. I wish what he did this week was fantastic. It was a good game.
Yeah, I mean the Toy Story was kind of fun too. So
he manages the game. He plays well. He doesn't make a ton of mistakes. I'm going to put him at number 5 out of 10. I don't know what you're going to give me, man. You're killing me here. That's
Trevor Lawrence. He's a pretty tough one. So
I know
the long locks though. The long locks. I got to give him a little bit of right.
yeah. That slows him down a little bit. Dang man, in the NFL, I put him as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
I agree.
But on your list, I got to say 5.
5. Okay.
Let's go 5. I got to save my high ones, man. I don't know what you're doing to me.
All right. Put Trevor Lawrence at 5.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next one, we're going to the NFC. All right. We talked about him a little earlier. We're talking about Brock Purdy.
Yes. Okay. Brock Purdy this year is fantastic.
Well, he's a game manager. He's a great game manager too.
He's been fantastic since he came in, man. I got to give him at least top 5 here. I love what he's doing. Let's see what's he got. Let's look at his stats. 67% completion, 1,300, almost 1,400 yards, 13 TDs and only 4 picks.
It's pretty good.
Man, that's really good. But is he? Now I got to make these decisions. Is he going over or under Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, there you go. See, this is a tough one.
I probably should have put Trevor Lawrence at 4. Now that I'm regretting it, but now Purdy's been a solid game manager. Let's go. So I have 5 and 8, right?
Yeah, 5 and 8.
I'm gonna go Purdy at 7.
Purdy at 7.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he's not carrying his team. He's playing.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. He is Christian McCaffrey. I mean, what do you expect?
He doesn't have to do anything. It's like,
All right, now
you could be a quarterback if you had Derrick Henry or Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I mean that's true. That dude is he's built different. Like he's gonna put up points no matter what. All right, now I'm going to throw out one of the top top 3 in the league.
Okay.
We're going to throw out Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh, Patrick.
Where do you want to put him at this year?
This year, it's still Patrick Mahomes. I don't care what anybody says. The guy.
And he had a lot of drops the first game. So, I mean, was it really his fault? I mean, he was putting on point, and Kadarius Toney and everybody was just dropping the balls.
The thing about Mahomes that most other quarterbacks don't have is he has an uncanny ability to make you think the play is over. And
when it's not. It's not even close.
And he's just one of those quarterbacks that knows how to get it done. And I gotta put him at the number 1 spot, no matter what.
Okay,
I really do. Because if there's any quarterback in the league you're taking right now, who you taking?
You gotta take Patty Mahomes. You have to.
Your first draft, right? Yeah, if you have the number 1 draft pick out of every player in the NFL, who you taking?
The number 1 overall. I'm probably taking Christian McCaffrey. I'm gonna be honest.
No, come on,
You're out of your mind.
Well, I'm not talking fantasy. I'm not talking fantasy points.
Have you not seen what Christian McCaffrey has done for that team?
For sure, absolutely.
The guy runs, he catches, he throws the ball. He does everything.
But if you're taking somebody to start a franchise, you're taking a quarterback.
Usually, yeah. A dynasty.
Every time.
Yeah. All right.
And Mahomes is one of those dynasty quarterbacks. I mean, he is the guy.
All right.
I'd love to say Tua, but I can't.
Well, talking about Tua, you might as well put him on the list because he was one of the next ones up here. So throw Tua on our list here. You got 1, 5, 7, and 8.
Man, 1, 5, 7, and 8. Tua has been fantastic. He's
had a pretty good year so far.
He was rattled under pressure. Even against the Patriots, he had some moments where he was, prone to make mistakes. And I think he is at that point where I say like Josh Allen was the last couple of years, where he just every now and then he'll do something that he shouldn't.
Yeah,
he'll throw the ball where he shouldn't. He'll just make one bad decision that is not just a bad decision; it's an awful decision. But I still think he's top 5 quarterback, even after last week. You saw what he did the first 2 drives. I mean,
he drove right down there and scored. Yeah, that's true.
Buffalo outplayed him. They outcoached him and they outplayed him. So I'm gonna put Tua at number 2 right now.
At number 2.
At number 2. I think he's better than anybody else you could bring up at this point.
Well, we'll see what happens.
For this year. We're ranking them for this year.
That's true. That is for this season.
Right.
This is all this season stuff.
I would not put him at 2.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about somebody who, he's been putting up big numbers, but his team has not been pulling out the wins like they should. I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, man, I love Kirk Cousins as a quarterback.
Just can't win primetime games. Don't put him in a primetime game.
I don't think it's his fault most of the time.
From
the ones I've watched, I haven't watched a lot of Vikings games. I like the Vikings. I watched a lot of them last year, but I just haven't been too focused on the Vikings, mostly because there's not a game that I'm betting on with them in it. So I haven't really paid attention to it. Man, what spots do I have open?
You got 3, 4, 6, 9, and 10.
3, 4, 6, 9, and 10.
Mm-hmm.
Man, okay, so let's go. I gotta give him some pretty high. 3, 4, 6, 9, and 10. Who did I have at 5? Trevor Lawrence?
You have 5 at Trevor Lawrence, yes, sir.
Ooh.
7 at Brock Purdy, 8 Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw him in number 4. I'm gonna put him a step ahead. Yeah, I would take Kirk Cousins right now. I would take Kirk Cousins. Oh, well, I mean, I think they're neck and neck. Honestly,
okay.
Kirk Cousins just has the experience. He has that leadership quality. Lawrence is great. Lawrence is a talent. And I would take Lawrence in a couple years, probably next year, over Kirk Cousins. But this year, I'm going to take Cousins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to throw out a rookie who's been having a great year, who is throwing the ball and making his team look good in Houston.
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud. Yeah, CJ Stroud. Where do you go with CJ?
Right. Oh, man. He's been doing really well.
He's looking really strong.
Yes. He's making plays.
And he's not turning the ball over.
Not completely, no, but he's making the plays when they need to be made. And I love that in a quarterback. I'm not going to put him top tier. I don't think he belongs all the way up there. And I still have what? I have 10. I have 8.
You have 3, 6, 9, and 10.
3, 6, 9, and 10. Oh man, that screwed me up. You screwed me up, man. Dude, I'm now I want to switch him into Deshaun Watson, but I can't. And I can't waste a 6 on him, can I? Yeah, I'll waste no, because at least with 8 and 10. I'm gonna put him at 8. 9, sorry, put it 9.
With 9? All right.
Yeah. You know, just there's still the mistakes. Watson, I'd like to have them flipped, but I'm happy with that back and forth right there.
Okay.
I'm good there.
I mean, you can argue for Deshaun Watson, but this year Deshaun Watson has looked
I wouldn't argue for either of them if I had to pick a quarterback, but there's at least potential with Stroud.
All right. We're gonna go with you got Pat Mahomes at 1, Tua at 2. You got 3 open. Yep. Kirk Cousins at 4, Trevor Lawrence at 5. You have 6 open. Brock Purdy at 7, Deshaun Watson at 8, C.J. Stroud at 9. So you got a pretty, I'm okay with the way you're going so far.
Yeah, but I have a feeling you're going to throw like 3 of the best quarterbacks right now. I'm going to have to put one of them at 10.
No, I do have one more who we talked about, and we talked about him going against Tua. He just played against Tua. You got to put Josh Allen. Where are you putting Josh Allen at?
Oh, definitely number 3. He's got to take my last number 3. He has to take my number 3 spot, dude. He's like one of those playmakers, and he's limiting the mistakes. And I think they talked about it during the game. The way he is just taking what defenses are giving him now. He's not trying to force things. He's not making mistakes like he was. I mean, that's a sign of maturity.
He's getting smarter with the ball.
I can only think of 1 or 2 big hits he's taken this year. Honestly, man, I know there's some other good teams out there,
but he did struggle against the Jets. I mean, he didn't look the greatest against the Jets.
He did, and I think there was a lot going into that game, and I think the whole dynamic of the game changed for both teams when Aaron Rodgers got
when
hurt.
Rodgers went out. Yeah,
I know it's in your mindset when you see someone like that who you're expecting this huge season from them. He gets hurt and you're playing against him. You're thinking, all right, this is great.
Yeah, this game
you're going to take the game. And you didn't take into account that, no, the Jets were still pumped up. They were still going to play that game. They made it happen. I don't think it would work the same. I think Buffalo would beat them by 20 points if they played them next week. But
I could see that, and but the Jets put up a really good fight against Patrick Mahomes too. So I don't know,
They did.
The Jets defense is built different.
Yes and no. The Chiefs jumped out to an early lead.
They did.
And the same thing. If you noticed, it's been a trend this year in the NFL. Like a lot of teams, they're getting big leads, and then all of a sudden the other team will come back from 28 points down. And it's happened a lot. I mean, Denver was down 3 touchdowns. Or 2 touchdowns at least. I mean, there were several teams this week that just I know what was the one that got me? The freaking Rams almost killed me.
Oh yeah, they almost lost that game.
I had them in a parlay. They were up 23 to 7. I'm like, oh good, we're running this one. And no, we're not.
They still ended up winning. They still ended up winning. But
they did, and it was a pick'em game, so I was good. It was good.
It was good. Yeah, you got lucky then.
I covered my parlay. Yeah, it was $100 swing.
All right, you got 2 left, and I got 2 quarterbacks with you still.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're going to give me one of the worst, and you're going to give me a mediocre, and we're good.
Well, this one's going to be an interesting one.
Oh,
I got Danny Dimes on here.
Ooh,
where do you put Daniel Jones?
Ooh,
do you put him at 6 or do you put him at 10?
Honestly, I put him on the bench. I can't stand Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones will go down, and I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater.
It doesn't really sound like it, but it's kind of funny.
I was rooting for the guy, really was, but he has shown. I got to put him at 10.
You got to put him at 10. Right.
I got to put him at 10. I can't. Daniel Jones. I mean, man, that hurts because I got Stroud better than Daniel Jones. Yeah, Stroud's better than Daniel Jones. right now. Daniel Jones has been. I didn't know what his stats are this year, but let me look him up real quick because he's been.
I don't think he's done all that well. I mean, they got shut out against Dallas pretty bad.
They're getting.
Then they almost lost to Arizona.
50. Yeah, his stats, his completion percentage is averaging in the 60s right now. He had one good game against the Cardinals. No, man, yeah, I'm at 10 for sure. 10.
All right,
but he's getting crushed.
You know, I mean,
2 touchdowns, 4 picks. Oh man, he's having one of the worst years. Yeah, 10. I don't even know why I was doubting it for a minute. He's a 10. He's a 13. Can we drop him further, please?
Can we drop him further?
Take him off the list.
Just get him out of here. Get him out of here.
While you're at it, just get rid of the Giants completely. They need to reboot everything, man. They need a
They probably really
reboot.
should, honestly. You know, they got a lot of, you know, Saquon Barkley is the only one who seems to do anything. And, you know, I was kind of surprised. You know, Darren Waller went to the Giants. I figured Darren Waller would have a big year just because of Daniel Jones and not being able to throw the ball.
I picked him up. I have him on my fantasy team, and it's just
he's been a joke.
It hasn't I don't even think it's his fault. I don't even think it's his fault. It's just they're not getting him the ball. They're not getting anybody the ball.
And that's they can't. It's because you can't get him the ball. I mean, he can't do anything. You know. But your last one, we're gonna go back. We're gonna stay in the NFC East, and we're gonna go with Dak Prescott. Was the last one.
Oh man. Okay. You know what? I'm happy with 6 there.
Yeah, Dak Prescott.
I'm happy with 6 there. I think that works out.
I mean, honestly, you did a pretty decent job. I mean, you know, Patty Mahomes at 1, 2 at 2, Josh Allen at 3, Kirk Cousins at 4, Trevor Lawrence at 5. You know, this is when he gets, you know, Dak Prescott at 6. So you got Trevor Lawrence above Dak Prescott.
It should be. He should be.
You know, you got Brock Purdy at 7, who's had a really good year too.
I know. I'm kind of
Deshaun Watson at 8, CJ Stroud at 9, and then you got Daniel Jones at 10. So I mean, it's not a horrible list. It's not a horrible list. I mean, I didn't throw any horrible quarterbacks at you. You know, I didn't throw like Sam Howell at you or anything.
What are you talking about? I would take Sam Howell over Daniel Jones. I put Sam Howell at like 8 right now. I mean, he's having a great year. I mean,
he's having a decent year. Yeah, he's having a decent year. I didn't throw like Jalen Hurts at you. You know, there's a bunch that I didn't throw at you.
Hurts would have thrown me off a little bit because where do you put him?
But, yes, you know, but it was pretty good. I mean, you did a pretty good job. I tried to make it where it was, you know, possible where you can still figure it out and, you know, work it out, and you did a pretty good job. I'll give it to you.
Yeah. When you told me we were doing this because I hate blind rankings. You told me we were doing this. I was like, oh man, I put on extra deodorant because I started sweating already. So I knew I can't. Man, this stuff makes me sweat. Fix my camera here. Sorry, broken. I gotta sit back, sit lower. All right.
You know, that's what happens.
So, man, all right, that was fun. That was fun. I don't want to do it again, but that was fun.
Your camera keeps dropping there. There you go.
Yeah,
there
sorry. I'm trying to fix the thing.
There you go.
Here, I'm just gonna point it out the window.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Listen, I built this desktop for 2 reasons. I just built it because I wanted to, and I didn't put a camera on it. I never put a camera on this desktop, so I'm borrowing my daughter's camera, and it's on its last legs. It's got no. Yeah,
it seems like you need a new.
It's got no clip. If I could show it to you, it's literally sitting in a house plant right now. That's how it's.
But it's working, so you know it works.
But it's working. It's holding up. The plant is doing a great job.
You know,
for now,
the
plant is doing a better job than Daniel Jones. So
he probably could throw the ball farther too.
It's going well. Yeah,
it's already throwing the camera, so he could throw a football.
That's right.
Hey, so we talked about all this. Now I want to hear your surprise team, good and bad, in the NFL, and I want to give you mine. So who do you see as a surprise team in the NFL as going good this year? Who surprised you the most?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
Okay. Biggest surprise team, and you mean good or bad? Obviously bad. I gotta go with.
We're gonna do one good, one bad. We're gonna do one good and one bad.
Oh, okay. So which one do you want to start with?
Whichever one. Go ahead. You started with Cincinnati, so go ahead.
Oh, started with what? Cincinnati. Cincinnati is awful, man. I am so surprised because I expected them to at least be 3-1 at this point, and they are going the wrong direction. I think they turn it around. I don't think they're as bad as their record right now, but if any surprise, I mean, I've lost a couple bucks betting on Cincinnati this year. thinking they were going to at least cover to win some games, even in start to the second week. I know I lost quite a bit because it's like there's no way they dropped that game. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, but my co-host here, Donnie Mac, is usually a huge Cincinnati fan, and his first few weeks, he kept saying that they should have sat Joe Burrow, with that calf injury. Do you think that calf injury is having a problem with him? I mean, it seems like he's hampered a little bit. It's throwing it off a little bit. Maybe they should have sat him. They just paid this guy so much money. I think I would have sat him for the first week.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can sit him. If he was ready to go, if he says he's ready to go, you got to let him go.
Yeah, but even Jamar Chase was telling him to sit. They don't need him for the first couple of games. I mean, it's not. Now you're just injuring yourself more and more. It's going to make a big problem at the end of the year if it's not.
Yeah, for sure. But that's my downside. Your turn.
All right, bad. I picked the Chicago Bears to have a decent year this year. I figured they were going to be a surprise team, and they have actually shocked me on how bad they are. I don't understand why they're so bad. Justin Fields is a good talent. Like, he can run the ball, he can throw the ball well. They have Chase Claypool, they have Moore now. They have all these guys around him and weapons, and they're not doing anything. I don't know what happened to their offense. I don't know. They said there's some disconnect in the locker room. They have got to figure out something to going on. Like, they are a horrible team right now that they got to figure something out. I don't know if it's their head coach, but their offense is bad. Their defense is worse. I mean, when you're giving 31 points to Russell Wilson, who's let's be honest, is not the Russell Wilson of old, it's kind of shameful. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. I kind of put the Giants in the same boat as the Bears. You expected more out of them, but
you did. I mean, I
didn't expect world busters. I didn't think they were going to be. If anything, they were bottom edge of the playoffs. But yeah, they're a lot worse than I thought they'd be.
Now I'm going to go with my surprise team that's good, and we're going to talk about Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 3-1. Baker Mayfield, what happened to this guy? He came into Tampa Bay and he's like, hey, I'm going to start winning games now. He's throwing touchdowns. He's reading defenses like perfectly. I mean, to be fair, he does have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin now. I mean, when has he ever had two receivers like that? But still, he's making the throws. He's getting it to them, and they're coming down with it, and they're coming with wins. It's pretty cool to watch.
Because his next option is playing in Canada or in the XFL.
Yeah, Arena Football League's coming back, man. I mean, you never know. Maybe he could go to the Arena Football League.
He is back to the wall. This is it. This is his last chance. And the guy is, if anything, he's a survivor. He's a fighter. But I'm not saying he's a great quarterback, but he will fight till the end. And I don't think he'll be able to sustain it long term. But I picked him up. I lost my backup. I can't remember what my backup was, but he got hurt, and I picked him up. And I was like, let's see what happens. So actually, I had Rodgers. Rodgers was my starter this week here in fantasy. And
that didn't go well for you. That didn't go well at all.
No. Now I'm stuck with Deshaun. I'm just stuck with Deshaun Watson.
I'd be starting Baker Mayfield.
Nobody. Well, I did. I started Baker Mayfield this week. It hasn't helped.
That's rough. That's really rough.
Baker's grinding out some points, man. He's making stuff happen, but like I said, it's not sustainable. It's going to be. I'm going to have to find a trade somewhere to pick up a quarterback.
Yeah, you might want
neither one of those is going.
He's not going to last. I mean, to be fair, they really haven't played anybody great. I mean, they did knock off Minnesota the week 1, which was a pretty big upset, which was really cool to watch. But I think Minnesota needs to figure out how to run the ball, because they're not running the ball. All they're doing is throwing it up to Justin Jefferson, hoping he comes down with the ball.
Yeah,
you can't do that all the time. So what? But hey, you had my surprise team. Who's good? Who's your surprise team?
You picked my surprise team. I have to pick somebody else now, right? That was my surprise team. Tampa Bay was my surprise team. I did not expect them, post Brady, to be nearly where they are.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think they'd be 3-1
and leading the division. Leading the division. Granted, honestly, they probably had a 50% chance to win the division anyway. If you look at the division,
it's not a very good division.
I thought the Saints would take it, but and they still might. They probably will at the end. But Man, as far as another surprise team, I think Detroit. I don't want to say Detroit's a surprise team because I kind of expected it.
Yeah, I mean, we picked them in our preseason. You know, we did that. We thought they were going to go a little bit farther in the playoffs. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm pleasantly surprised by Jordan Love as a player, but the Packers themselves haven't been great.
No, I mean, but you know, Jordan Love has made some great throws, and he is starting to come in. You know, because people don't realize this is technically his first year. He's a rookie kind of thing. You know, it's like a rookie for him. It's like a rookie season. So,
man, so if I had to pick a team, I don't even know where to go with that. You know what? I guess I'd go with maybe if I have to pick, I'm going to say Washington.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's not bad.
They've shown fight. They almost got the Eagles this week. I was really pulling for them, but took them to overtime.
Because I love watching Philadelphia fans lose their mind.
Philly fans. I don't want to put this on record, but I will never go watch a game in Philadelphia. Ever.
It's kind of crazy.
It could be a neutral game. It could be two teams that I absolutely don't care at all about, and I still won't go to a game in Philly. Hey, and that's not just football.
Yeah, I was about to say because the Marlins are going to Philadelphia to play the playoffs. So
yeah, that should be fun. No chance for the Marlins, but it should be fun.
I mean, hey, you never know. The Marlins may pull off an upset. Win at least one.
It could happen.
Win at least one round.
One series. Yeah, they might take Philly, but not. I don't think so. I think they lose it. But
hey, every time the Marlins make the playoffs, they seem to make a run. So we're gonna go with that. We're gonna hope they make a run.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna ask you to blind rank. Are you ready?
All right, what you got?
Only two. All right. The first one is Taylor Swift. All right.
Yes, what are we blind ranking here? Like, what am I blind ranking here on? Like music or something?
As Travis Kelce girlfriends. All right. You got Taylor Swift is your first one. Where are you putting Taylor Swift on the ranking of Travis Kelce girlfriends?
I don't even think Travis Kelce's had another girlfriend.
And just so you know, I'm looking up a list of Travis Kelce's girlfriends because I have no clue who else is on that list.
I don't even know any other Travis Kelce girlfriends.
Kayla Nicole, apparently.
I have no idea who that is. I have no idea. I have no idea who any of these people are. But I guess I have to put Taylor Swift at one just because she's got the extra money, so she can buy dinner too every once in a while.
That's fair. And that's another question. Does that Taylor Swift is she spells disaster for a lot of her boyfriends?
That seems to be true.
Do you see anything? I mean, let's go 6 weeks down, right? The Chiefs are running well. They're 7-2, and they break up.
I don't think it's going to hurt Travis Kelce too much. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah,
that dude is just
man.
Different. He's not even close. There's not even a tight end even close to this guy's potential. George Kittle was the second best tight end in the league, and he's not even close to Travis Kelce's potential. I mean, Travis Kelce is just, everybody knows who Patrick Mahomes is going to throw to, and the guy's still wide open by 10 yards somehow every freaking pass, it seems like.
Yep.
It's just like, no, that doesn't make any sense.
Why is it that Kansas City seems to get tight end after tight end after tight end? I mean, they've,
yeah, that's a good point. All the way back to Tony Gonzalez.
Before Tony Gonzalez was a beast.
I mean, we were talking about some of the greatest tight ends. Tony Gonzalez was an amazing tight end who, I wish he would have finished his career at Kansas City. Yeah. He went to Atlanta for those last few years, but
that's football.
Always. It seems like it, So we talked about everything. Is there anything you want to, throw in, add in, question me?
Well, while we're on the Kelce thing.
Okay.
Can we talk about his mustache?
Yeah. Yeah. I give it a C-. I'm going to be honest.
He looks like he just pulled you over to write you a ticket for a busted taillight. Like he
looks like one of those cops. Yeah, I agree. And you're not getting out of it. You're not getting out of it. There's nothing you can do to get out of it.
Super Troopers 3 is coming out, starring Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
It's a bad mustache.
Yeah,
he's got to fix it.
Shave it off. Shave it off, man. Just get rid of it. Get rid of it. And the haircut doesn't help you either. So
No.
Get rid of it, please. Please, for everything. Just get rid of it. I'm sure Taylor Swift doesn't like it all that much either.
So. No, she doesn't care. I don't think she even notices it's there. She can't see that high. He's taller than her. He's your first boyfriend she's had that's taller than her. But
that's probably true. It's the sad part.
Yeah.
But hey, Taylor Swift, they're going to be, going to Germany, against the Dolphins. So I wonder how that's going to work.
Yes. She probably has a show there. If not, she'll put one on. But that game. Now that I'm West Coast time, that game is at 5:00 in the morning for me.
Ooh,
I have to get up.
That's gonna be rough.
I don't get up. I don't even get. I mean, I take the kids to school at 7, but that's 5:00 in the morning to get up and watch football, and I will be either awake or
staying
I will
up all
still
night.
be up.
Yeah,
yes.
You stay up all night. I know how that's gonna go.
It's Saturday night. I'll find a place to go hang out.
I don't blame you. That's Hey, we talked about this now real fast. We're going to talk about a little college football here.
Oh, nice.
We're going to talk a little college football. Miami's back ranked, man. I know you're a Miami
17.
Hurricane fan, and I'm a Florida State fan. We're kind of going on a collision course here. It seems like,
it's possible.
It seems like it's going to be an interesting ACC kind of, matchup here. We're headed towards this collision. Who do you think is going to end up winning that game?
Oh man, don't put me on the spot.
I gotta put you on the spot.
I can't go on record. What's the spread? I gotta go against the spread because it's in Florida State too, right?
It is. I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
it's in Tallahassee.
I'm almost positive.
That sucks. Well, let's assume that Florida State can get their Duke.
Well, I think we play Duke after you, don't we?
No, you got Duke on. I'm looking at the schedule on the 21st. Miami's on the 11th. No, but looking at the Florida State schedule, you got a good chance to be undefeated when you get there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Duke is really the only challenge, and Duke just lost to, Notre Dame,
for Florida State, the only challenge is Wake Forest.
That's true, in Wake Forest. We seem to always struggle against them for some reason.
I think Miami drops at least one game, probably to Clemson, maybe North Carolina.
I don't know. Clemson has bbeen like a strange team where they've shown flashes of like the old Clemson, and they've shown flashes of who the heck are you again? 20 years ago Clemson, where they just can't win a game.
No, they're still dangerous. They're still good. So Miami goes to North Carolina in 2 weeks, and I think that's their first loss. I think Florida State beats Miami, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be close.
I don't think it's ever a blowout between these two teams. These two teams are going to be really good.
It has been.
Well, it has been, but
more often than not in the last 10 years, 15 years.
Yeah,
Miami's been on the receiving side.
Yeah, the last couple of years you guys have been, but the few years before that we were getting beat up pretty bad. So it's fair. It's fair. It always seems to be like that for Florida State, Miami. And what I also love watching Kentucky beat the crap out of UF. Though I'm going to be honest. I loved watching that.
I actually bet that one. I bet Kentucky to win it outright, and that was a good one for me on Saturday.
Yeah, they dominated them the whole game.
Florida's just not good. They're not good. They played Tennessee at the right time. Tennessee was not prepared. They didn't play well.
And that's we talked about this a couple episodes ago with me and Donnie Mac. What conference do you think is actually the best conference in the league right now? Because the SEC seems to have fallen off. Georgia really hasn't been there. Alabama's not really there. They're decent teams, but they're not like they should be. Where do you think the best conference is?
I just had a video open up and start playing on me. That was crazy. Man, that's tough. That is tough. Well, I mean, obviously, it's the future SEC, I guess.
The future SEC?
Who's joining is Oklahoma,
Texas,
Texas.
Texas is looking strong this year, too.
They're both looking. Yeah, the Big 12 is not looking too shabby right now.
Yeah, the Big 12, the Pac, even the Pac,
Pac-10.
They have some strong teams in there.
Yeah, I just lost all my rankings here. I was trying to get back to the rankings.
And the ACC doesn't. I mean, they're not. There's nobody crazy except for Florida State right now, but they have some decent teams in there that people aren't really kind of overlooking.
There's a lot of ACC. I mean, ACC would be one of the top 2 or 3. Well, probably the top 2 one of the hottest conferences for sure. Because most of their losses have come to each other, right?
It seems like
I don't think they lost to, and Notre Dame lost to. Who did Notre Dame lose to?
Ohio State.
Right. That was a close game.
That was a really close game. Ohio State, I mean, they scored with 1 second to go. I mean, and with 10 men on the field for Notre Dame, which still drives me nuts. Like 2 plays in a row, you only had 10 men on the field. Like, come on, don't tell me that's strategy. That's just stupidity.
Exactly. Yeah. How do you make that mistake twice in a row?
Yeah,
that's insane.
That was just horrible.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think the ACC has a lot to look forward to.
I do. I really agree with that. You know, their basketball teams are starting to become football teams. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of nice to watch.
And a lot of the football schools are becoming basketball schools. That's still Final Four, Miami. So we'll point that out.
Yeah. Well, you know, because your football team's not the greatest.
Not just Miami. I used to work at FAU, Florida Atlantic, and that was awesome. I was, you know, how bad I was hoping for an FAU Miami.
Yeah, national championship game. That would have been cool.
Just one of them even would have been great.
Yeah, and then neither one of them.
Yeah, FAU should have. They lost on the last second. That would have been a heck of a.
Yeah, Miami got absolutely massacred too. It seemed like.
Well, didn't they end up winning everything?
Yeah, but it was, you know, still, I was disappointed in Miami on that one. So I was rooting. That's the only time I think I've ever rooted for a Miami team to win a game.
Final Four was nice. It may happen again. Miami's been pulling. They've been hitting the transfer portal for players. So
that's, you know, that is huge now. Transfer portal in college has become the main go-to in football, basketball, everything. That's where Florida State is really up their talent, is the transfer portal. And I mean, you know, I don't know how I feel about it all the greatest. I mean, I'm okay with it because it's making Florida State look better. But it just seems like, you know, well, you're not going to be able to start this year. So, fine, I'll just go transfer to a different school.
Yeah,
you know, if you make the commitment, you make the commitment to me.
One of two things is going to happen. One, it's either going to spread out the talent. So we're going to have more upstart and surprise teams, especially teams that can afford to bring more players in. But I'm leaning more towards the fact that it's going to create 20 powerhouse teams and then nobody else. It's going to create a minor league system in college football. There's almost one already, but all these big teams are just going to keep pulling players. They're going to have depth. They're going to have a senior quarterback followed by a junior stud and a sophomore stud and then a freshman and then a redshirt freshman. Yeah. And they're going to have these guys lined up, ready to go. They play 1 year and go. And it's just, you know, I'm hoping it does the opposite. I'm hoping it spreads it out and becomes a lot more parity. Because
I think when the playoff does expand, I think it will help that too. You know, when that playoff expands, I think more kids will see, well, maybe this team can make it. Maybe we can carry this team in then, kind of thing.
Yeah, but you'll still get the same powerhouse teams.
Oh, yeah, there's always going to be those powerhouse teams. Yeah. You know, Alabama's. I think Alabama's dynasty is finally slowly starting to end, and you can kind of see that. Just like Clemson's. I think Clemson's dynasty is kind of ending at this point. You know, they're all both on the downslope, which they've been there for, 10 years. Just like Miami used to be in like the 2000s. They used to be that number one team that no team could really catch them.
Don't forget the 80s and 90s too.
Well,
they were pretty dang good then.
Yeah, but that 01 team was just built different, and that team
it was unbelievable.
That team was just, I don't think there was a team anywhere in college football that was better than that team.
One of the top 5 all time for sure.
So I'll give you that. You got to give Miami some kind of credit for something. So I have to give them credit for that. Nothing else. I'm not giving them credit for anything.
We'll take it. Yeah, I was actually wearing my sweater today because we had a cold morning in Vegas this morning. It's October 1st. Fall weather hit. It was in the 60s this morning.
Yeah, I don't know what cold weather is. It's still 90 degrees every day we go out to work.
Beautiful here.
But hey, that's Florida for you though. That's why teams hate coming down to Miami and playing. Just saying.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer to have those December games at home, which some of the big ones are at home in December.
That's true. I mean, we finished the league like the last 5 games. I think 4 of them are at home, so that's kind of crazy. Yeah. It's going to be a big swing. I hope Miami can push in. Maybe we can even win the division still. I can still see us winning the division. I'm going to be honest.
It's going to take a good run, and it's going to take Buffalo running into some big games. They got to lose a couple games, but they seem to lose games.
I can see it happening. I can see it happening.
And every team is one injury away.
Always. That's the whole NFL, though. That one thing, because Kenny Pickett, for the Steelers, just got hurt now. Now they got to bring in Mitch Trubisky, which, I feel bad for them. I'm going to be honest. I mean, but Pittsburgh needs to get rid of their offense coordinator. Matt Canada needs to go. because I don't know why they kept him, but that is the god awful worst choice I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
from Mike Tomlin.
I'll be honest. I see Kenny Pickett as an angry Mitch Trubisky anyway. I think they're the same quarterback.
Angry Mitch Trubisky. I like it.
I don't see a huge jump between Kenny Pickett and Trubisky.
I don't see a huge jump, but there is a little bit of a jump. But it doesn't matter when you have your offense coordinator not even be able to call a freaking play. It's pretty bad. So they're like the bottom half of the league. They're probably like the 27th power ranking, honestly, in the league. They're not a good. They're not a good team. So that's just the way I see them. I see Houston above them now. The way Houston just put on them. So
yeah, that was something.
But hey, I'm happy with how today went. How are you? Good? Any more questions for us? Anything you want to throw out there before we sign it off for the viewers and everything?
I don't know, man. You got predictions for this week?
Well, we don't really have many predictions yet.
What do I bet? What should I bet this week?
I don't even know who plays this week. I haven't even looked at it this week.
You gotta look it up, man. This is that people come. They want your opinion. They want to blame you when they lose money. That's what I want. I want to have you to blame. Listen, when I drop $100 on a game and I lose, I want to have someone to blame.
Listen, we always do our predictions every Thursday. We always do 6 games. But a game that I see that's going to be kind of fun to watch is the Texans-Falcons game. I think that's going to be a fun game to watch. The Eagles-Rams will be a good game, I think. But an upset, if we were talking upset, I see, the Cowboys 49ers play. Oh, God. We're talking about
Sunday night.
Yeah, an upset game that's going to happen is the Vikings are going to beat the Chiefs in Week 5.
The Vikings are going to beat the Chiefs in Week 5.
Vikings are going to beat the Chiefs in Week 5. That's my upset of the week.
Interesting upset.
But the guarantee bet, I would go with the Commanders over the Bears on Thursday Night Football. I'm just going to be honest.
I'm going to give you my upset. I'm going to take the Rams over the Eagles.
I looked at that one too, but I like seeing the Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to come out and they're going to, Zach Wilson just put up a great game against the Kansas City Chiefs defense.
Yeah.
And we all know how bad Zach Wilson is. So I'm putting Kirk Cousins in that position. I see him doing pretty well.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see what the spread is. I don't know if it's even going to show up here.
I don't even think they've released it yet since they're still a Monday night game.
Yeah, I don't have the right setup anyway. So, no, look, it's all Taylor Swift stuff.
I believe it nowadays. I believe it.
And Ryan Reynolds there this week too. I think is from what I saw. Crazy.
I mean, hey man, you got to get on the Taylor Swift train. You got to get.
Well, because if I'm a celebrity, there's no place I want to go more than Kansas City.
100%. That sounds like a great place to go.
The nightlife is incredible. I mean, I could see fat celebrities going there, like fat celebrities like, the barbecue's good. I go for the barbecue.
Yeah, I go for the food. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Barbecue for breakfast, noon, lunch, and dinner. I'm in.
Oh, hey, whatever you gotta do, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. But I got nothing else, man. It's been fun.
Man. It's been a pleasure. I'm going to sign us off, and we'll see y'all next week. Hey, everybody. Thank you for coming back in, joining us. The 863 Sports Buzz. This is my special guest, AcesUp. Marshentime.